What if I told you you can get your vehicle show ready, including the engine bay, in about 5 minutes or less when you're already running late for Cars and Coffee early Sunday morning? Welcome to the channel. My name is Dan. I'm the owner of Simply Clean Detailing, and I'm a professional detailer down here in South Florida. We've had the opportunity to travel across the country, and I've seen and detailed just about anything that you can imagine, which allows me to make the best detailing products that money can buy. So guys, let's not waste any time. We're already running late for Cars and Coffee. Let's get working on this Evo. So before we get started, we're gonna grab a couple of towels, a ceramic detailer, which is our Fluoro-Essence. And if you don't know much about ceramic detailers, I did leave a link in the description below. Now, it doesn't matter if you're working on your boat, your motorcycle, or whatever you may be bringing to the next event. It's very important to extend the life of our towels, because remember, we may only have 1 or 2 towels that are actually clean. We're gonna start from the least contaminated areas and then work our way to the more contaminated areas from maybe the road or the tire kicking up on the side of the car. So this is one of our client's vehicles that we just performed an extensive paint correction to. He doesn't always have time to wash it. That's why this is a perfect candidate to show you how our Fluoro-Essence can work. Now, before you guys start bashing us in the comments on how I'm not washing this car properly, we formulated our Fluoro-Essence to tackle fingerprints, dust, debris, or any contaminants that may be on the vehicle, and to do it safely, even on this 23-year-old Evo. So how do we know we're actually applying our ceramic detailer the correct way? Well, there'll be a few telltale signs. If we're heavily using this product and our first primary towel is just getting overly saturated, you're just gonna end up leaving streaks or possible wet spots left on top of the car. And then your secondary towel eventually will get too contaminated too quick, and then you'll wonder why you're leaving streaks all over the car. So remember, less is more in a lot of our times when we're detailing. So when I mean less is more, you just want enough product on top of the surface that we're trying to clean in order to lift those contaminants off safely, even on a 23-year-old vehicle. So now we're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna show you guys, even on a vehicle that does appear to look show ready as it does right now, take a look at this. Now, remember I said less is more. Make sure it's not on kill shot, nice light mist, of course. But that's literally all we need. And to safely put our microfiber towel onto the vehicle, it is in safe measure to give 1 light mist onto the towel, especially if it's brand new out of the bag and it's never been used. Literally 1 swipe across here, and this is only our second swipe, and look, you could already see the light dust or contaminants that are on the towel from just 2 passes. And we like to keep the towel in the same direction, especially on our first few passes here, because you don't want to be taking any loose contaminants or debris that could get caught in our towel. Like look, just like this little tree branch right here. Constantly looking at our towel to see if we're catching anything. Then once we do our first pass, we're gonna flip it to the clean side of the towel. And now we can buff back and forth to get any of the streaks or leftover haze that may be there. And after our first pass here with our primary towel, and we did flip it around on the clean side, now we're gonna take our secondary towel, and this step is just to ensure that we're not leaving any towel smudges or any haze left behind if we did intend to use too much product if we didn't mean to. And as we're working our way down to the more contaminated parts of the vehicle, we want to keep in mind and also pay attention to how dirty our dirty side and the clean side of the towel is as we're moving on through the vehicle. Being that we've already wiped most of the car down already, because I folded my towel in 4, now I have a fresh new side even in my primary towel. So now we can go ahead, continue to just do a light mist from top to bottom on the front door here. And then we're doing the same theory, same method. One swipe across the panel light pressure. We're not digging in to the clear coat. And as long as we're putting the towel in one direction, you can notice how much dirt and contaminants are literally being lifted off without gouging the 23-year-old paint. So now that we've done our first side of the towel, we're gonna flip it around and we're just gonna give one little mist here because I know the bottom of the door was a little bit more contaminated than the top side of the door. Same theory, one wipe right across, and then we could flip our towel around. And we're still just doing one wipe motion. Why? Because we have our secondary towel here, of course folded in 4. And now if we wanted to, just to get rid of, you can notice when I did have a little bit too much saturation or I used a little bit too much product on the top of the car, there's just a light haze here. But now we can take our clean towel and now we can just buff it back and forth, worry-free. And if you were to feel this door right now, you would feel how much lubrication and how smooth this entire panel is. And we're adding a bunch of depth and gloss on an already polished and clean vehicle. So now we've arrived to the dirtiest side of the car. Now in most vehicles, the engine bay or the wheels might be the dirtiest part of the vehicle. But in this car particularly, the wheel wells and the driving portions of the car are the most contaminated. And we're gonna flip back to the dirtiest side of our primary towel. This time, instead of having the sprayer on a hairspray mist, we're gonna put this on more of like a kill shot or like a fire hose action to blast away the contaminants that are behind the tire here. All right guys, so now it's time for the best for last. And just to prove that there's no gimmicks, we're taking the dirty side of the towel that we just cleaned the entire car with. We're gonna flip back to the clean portion of the towel. Now on our primary towel, we're gonna clean the rest of this engine bay. Now guys, keep in mind, every engine bay is different, especially when it comes to our performance vehicles, but I'm gonna show you how confidently I can apply this to virtually everything that's in this engine bay. So everyone, you can see we literally just wiped this entire vehicle down from the engine bay, all the painted surfaces, and even the lower parts of the car where it was completely contaminated. And if you still think I'm crazy, let me know in the comments down below. But if you're looking for more of like a concours style detail or a more in-depth detail, we have a full line of our own detailing products at simplycleandetailing.com. Check it out. Guys, remember, keep it simple, keep it clean.